Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. Sorry for the delay, but you know, we get a little sidetracked sometimes, but that's okay. What are we doing today? Today I want to basically just go through as much of the backlog as possible. Again, we're trying to work towards the next playtest. And we just got a bunch of things. All these things in the to-do list need to be changed, need to be updated. But then I also have 27 bugs logged. And I think I'd like to get through a lot of those as well. Of course, there's still, you know, I'm working on controller improvements. I've got a couple more items to do on this. And just generally do some testing on the controller. What else do I have to do? I have to do sound effects pass. I might do that today. But yeah, I think we're getting there. So basically just going to be spending as much time as possible working on getting these items done so that we can do the next playtest. And that would be wonderful. Like I said before, this will probably be, or this will likely be, the last playtest before the publicly available demo. So it'll be the last time to really get some good feedback on the game before I open it up to the wider world. But anyway, you can wish this Alka Mortis if you're interested. Go ahead and do that. You can use the link in the description below to visit the Steam page. If you want to get early access to the upcoming playtest, you can subscribe on Patreon. Subscribing at either tier while the early access playtest period. I shouldn't say early access. The early playtest period. Subscribing to Patreon during the early playtest period will get you into the early playtest. There we go. I finally did it. But otherwise, if you subscribe at the sponsor tier for at least 1 month, I will send you a Steam key for the full game, and your name will be listed in the in-game Alka Mortis credits. So again, if you are an active subscriber in either tier, you will get early playtest access for the next upcoming playtest. And if you subscribe at sponsor for at least 1 month, you'll get a key for the full game when it releases. And you can also purchase my Udemy courses. The links for those are in the description below. All right, let's get into it. Hello, Clickertail, welcome. Good morning, Ninja Link. Good to see you. Hello, V. Welcome, welcome. How are you? I'm doing well. I'm doing well. How are you doing? Is it rude of me to ask how many wish lists you are at? I don't think so. I don't know if I'm supposed to share that data though. Because the publisher, you know. If I didn't have a publisher, I would share it with you, but I would have to check with them and see if it's okay for me to reveal that info. Hello, Stray Pointer. Welcome back. Good to see you. Okay. All right. So what do we got going on here? So there's a bunch of content changes that I want to make. Nerfing the rat, or the copy ability generally. These are not... Oops. These are not necessary. I do need to find a use for the eyeball. We've got a bunch of bugs. We got a bunch of bugs here. I think what I might do is just start doing some of these content things. Let's do an easy one to start. I want to change this oil speed multiplier. Doing good. Had the hospital yesterday. They think I have nerve damage. Well, that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay, so in this oil card, I want to change this speed multiplier. This one does reduce the remaining cooldown of whatever items. I don't know what it's configured to be. Adjacent fire items. by 0.5x of this item's cooldown. So yeah, I'm trying to get rid of like these kind of like multipliers from the game. I don't think those are... There's a couple of issues with those. One, they're hard to balance, and two, it's just weird how the multipliers work out with the integers. So I'm trying not to use those. Yeah, so if we want to make it based on this item's cooldown, do I want to do something like reduce it by... Maybe we keep the multiplier basically the same, but we just restructure it a little bit. So it'll be like reduce the remaining cooldown of fire items by 0.5 seconds per 1 second of this item's cooldown or something like that. Well, let's try that. We'll see how it works. Base reduction per second is 5. Okay, so we've got the turn cooldown. So I want to divide this by 10. We don't need this floor to int anymore. So this is going to be speed magnitude provider divided by 10. And then I guess I just multiply that out by base reduction per second. Is that right? So if I've got a 2-second cooldown, that'll reduce it by... So the thing is, the cooldowns are represented as integers where every step of 1 is 0.1 seconds. So there's 10.1 seconds in 1 second, right? So, but this is expressed as an integer. So divided by 10 means 1 second. So if we've got 2 seconds of cooldown, this would be 20. We divide that by 10, that'll be 2 times 5, that would be 10. So it would reduce the cooldown by 1 second. So I guess this multiplier is essentially the same thing. I'm just expressing it a little bit differently, but I still think that's important. So this would be per... Man, this is going to be a problem. Okay. Magnitude to second. Let's do const int cooldown divisor. We'll put that down here. Cooldown divisor. Description utils dot magnitude to seconds. Speed magnitude provider. Nope. What is it? Base reduction. All right. Well, it's not really functionally different, but I think it's expressed in a way that's more consistent with the rest of the game now. Hello, Kapata Sensei. Welcome. Hope you're well. I'm doing all right. I have a little bit of a headache, but that's because I stayed up too late last night. But we are A-okay. We're going to get through it. Need to go and see someone else now for scans, but we'll keep fighting. Yeah, I hope you get some answers on that. That would be good. Good morning, Ariane. Welcome. Good to see you. All right, now we got to build the translations. The translations did not get rebuilt for some reason. Oh, there they are. By 1x. Oops. I forgot to remove. Now we got to do the whole rigmarole again. Build. It ain't morning for me. Okay, let's see if the translation file updated. So the problem is this is going to say 1 second. Oh, what am I doing? Okay, I will eventually get this. So this is going to say per... I actually don't know how to do this because I have like multiple plural scenarios now, right? So the way that my translation system works is I can supply a description template and a description template singular. And those are basically like the description template serves as the plural and the singular string unless description template singular is also defined, in which case it will be split out into a plural configuration. So I've got message string 0, message string 1. This is built in sort of like the plural standard for this type of translation file. The problem though is that what happens if this also needs to be singular, right? So now I have potentially 4 different strings that only vary. Well, they only vary by item and items. And then they would only vary by second and seconds. So that's 4 different forms of the same string with just up to two words changed. And I actually don't have a way of supporting that right now. So I need to figure that out. I actually don't know what I'm going to do about that. What I may have to do... I may just have to, well, I have to look into, actually, let's just do a quick gander. So what I may need to do, I don't know actually. What I may need to do is I may need to use like some extra properties in here, like, and then discriminate on the message context potentially. I don't know if I can just straight up go and add more. I don't think I should add more entries into like this message string array, because what can happen in other languages is that they could have multiple plural forms. So in English, the n plurals is 2. We have a singular form and a plural form. And then this expression here basically determines when the plural form is used. So when you pass in n as the number of items that you're referring to, if n is not equal to 1, then we use the plural form, right? So for 0, we say we have 0 apples, right? But then if we have 1, we say we have 1 apple. But then if we have more than 1, we have 2 apples, right? So when we only have one thing, that's the only time that we use the alternate plural form, or which would be the singular form, right? But my understanding is that other languages can have multiple plural forms, and so they would need to expand out this array of strings to match each number of potential, well, each potential number, right? So if you've got like 3 different plural forms, a translator would end up adding another message string with an index of 2, and then they would rewrite each sentence to work with each number. So I don't think I can just add more here. And you know, the tricky thing about translations is I can't just do dynamic like string building at runtime because I don't know what the grammatical rules of other languages are, right? So all of the possible strings that I would want to display have to be identified and determined ahead of time so that they could be translated to the proper grammatical forms in the other languages. So I'm going to need to figure that out. I don't need to figure that out right now, but it's just something that I've been thinking about for a while. And yeah, we'll just have to see how it goes. And in the worst case scenario, I could just create another entry in the text, or like just create another block here, but did I build the translations? I keep going back. I keep losing my... Let's see. Okay. Anyway, those are the kinds of things that you have to think about when you're making a Steam game, I suppose. The greatest place on earth, Scotland. My wife and I want to visit Scotland at some point. We definitely want to visit Scotland. The spams, I got it. Where are the mods? Oh, goodness. Hello, slap you silly dog. What's the board tool you're using to track your work? It's Obsidian with the Kanban plugin. Taking care of small things stream. This is obviously not the romance mechanics stream because we expect that to be a massive undertaking. Well, you know, I could always take a very basic approach to romance and just like sneak it in somewhere. The priestess and the necromancer are doing some things, doing some adult activities. Anyway. Oh, the other thing I did last night is I added this little... Oops, that's not working. Son of a biscuit. I guess I have to address that too. Do I have to address that? Let me see. Oh, I'm not showing the alchemy. Okay, that's fine. So whenever an ability is going to be protected by alchemy, I added this icon with the protected text there. You can make the window a little bit bigger. So just trying to make it clearer in alchemy what is going to change and what's not. And then I also... This was a relatively minor thing, but I also made an animation for when you get new ability slots from alchemy. So now you see how that new empty ability slot is being animated in? That was previously not the case. So the goal is for everything that's going to change or not going to change in alchemy that you know for sure ahead of time because of your combination of reagents and whatnot. I want to show that to you up front as much as possible. I think that's going to help a lot because, you know, if you have a question of like, does this count as a poison ability, right? Well, then you'll be able to see the protected icon as well as that protected text there. So I think I want to keep doing this kind of thing for alchemy, just like show you as much as is reasonable to show you ahead of time before you do the randomization, right? Oops. Okay, let me make sure that I didn't... Oh, innate is being... Ooh. That's a bug. Actually, well, I mean, I guess you could make an argument that that could stay there. Shoot. Okay, well, I guess we'll just put that in the bug. Abilities are showing as protected. In alchemy, only show protected when an ability is explicitly protected by a reagent. Well, that's a little bit unfortunate. I did not think about that case. All the way up. Anyway, reduce the remaining cooldown of one random adjacent item with a fire ability by 0.5 seconds per 1 second of this item's cooldown. I think I need to redraw the salamander. I will add that just in the backlog. Okay, anyway. So this should reduce it by 2 seconds, I believe. So let's go to a combat and see if that works. Give you a free pass, come to Scotland. Yeah, we do want to. We do want to. The seed planted months ago has begun to sprout. I think innate having protected is pretty nice, less reading. Yeah, the problem though is that when you've got like the blood bulb, the problem is that this absorbs and removes a random innate ability. And so now the complexity is going way up, right? Because I can't show you specifically what ability will be absorbed ahead of time. But if I say that all the innate abilities are protected and one of them gets absorbed, then that's not good, right? So I'm just gonna simplify it for now. Like I'm trying not to balloon the complexity of like that notification or that preview system. Because for every, like, there's all these tiny little cases that I'll have to do a bunch of conditionals for. But we'll see. Anyway, let's see if this works. It does work. Okay. Cool. Oops, I spelled scaling wrong. That's okay. All right. Nerf rat copy ability. Actually, I'm going to buff the tapeworm ability. I think the tapeworm, at least for me, I feel like I basically never use the tapeworm. So what I want to do is I just want to give the tapeworm a good buff. So let's see what we can do about that. I think one of the main problems with the tapeworm is that it takes up a lot of space, but it also exhausts itself, right? Projects to one random enemy minion item. Apply 2 poison to self, then project this ability to one random minion item. It does heal 20, and exhaust is removable. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna beef up that poison. Let's do 10. Let's just beef up the poison. I think I'm really happy with where this game jam is currently is, but I really hate the text. I think I just hate fonts. Yeah. I love the tapeworm plus the exhaust build. I think if the poison is scaled a little harder, it'll be good. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. So it's doing 10 poison now. Well, I should probably turn on the training dummy so I can actually just see. I mean, I'm 100% confident this is going to work because all I did was change a number. But, you know, due diligence and all that. Oh yeah. I think that definitely works. I need to do more abilities like that, where I project self-damage abilities onto the enemy. But anyway, it works. I love getting these tiny cards done. Rework Skull Staff to have distinct abilities. So when I was working through so I put in the Discord that I reworked the language that's used. So here, oh, that's not clean up ability descriptions. So I changed all the text of the abilities, or all the relevant text. I removed the allied language from everything. So an ability would previously say, you know, for example, adds 15% critical chance to allied non-reagent items. I removed that. And I'm basically just taking the approach now that every ability is assumed to only work for items on your board. But when it affects an enemy or an ally, it will mention that. So the only one currently is this Fist of Anger Paralysis. So the thing is that that card can paralyze an enemy or an ally. So that is explicitly mentioned. So random allied or enemy item. But in every other case, that language has been dropped. And then I also made a change to how I use the words per and for each. So per, that word per is used when it's indicating something is going to deal a lump sum of damage. So if I deal 2 damage per adjacent minion item, right? That means that it's going to do, for example, like 8 damage at once if there's 4 adjacent minion items. But if I'm using the words for each, that implies that there's a repeat going on. So if I say deal 2 damage for each adjacent minion item, that means that it's going to deal 2 damage 4 times. And the distinction is important because there are some things that scale in the game based on the instances of damage applied and not like the raw amount of damage applied. And so if you're applying 2 damage 4 times, that's 4 instances of damage versus 8 damage once is just 1 instance of damage, right? So I cleaned that up. I think that language is very consistent now. So yeah, that's what I was working on. But this skull staff here, I wanted to break this out into separate abilities. Actually, maybe I don't need to do that. Because this is using the for each language. I guess that's what's bothering me. Well, I don't know. Do I want to do that? Yeah. Well, breaking this up is going to be a little bit difficult. Maybe I'll just reword it. What can I do for the rewording here? Maybe I'll just say if a status was applied since last execution, apply 0 stacks of that status. Maybe that's better. Okay, we'll just do that. I don't think I need to break it up into separate abilities just for the language change. Okay. What else do we have? So I do want to introduce this new corrupted ability. Let's do that. I already have one like that. Okay, cool. Good thing I checked. Critical bonus modifier. Oh, but I may not be... Am I clamping this? Yeah. Okay. I guess I already have that one. Delete. We are just getting through all these small things. Okay, let's nerf the copy ability now. I think rat is a problem. Let me take a look at the rat here. So the plan is to make this any copy ability just basically fill up the empty ability slots. Actually, let's do this. Let's do a couple of things. We're going to make this innate. Let's also see if the scarecrow is innate. so we'll make those innate. So I think one of the main problems with this copy ability is that it increases the ability limit every tier. So I'm thinking, okay, we could either make it only fill up the empty ability slots, or fix it to just one, so it just copies one ability, or I introduced this new scaling function, make stepped additive scalar, where I can control what tiers it actually goes up at. So I believe this one would basically say every 3 tiers increase the amount by 1. Is that right? Make stepped additive scalar. Tier -1 divided by tier steps. Yeah. So everything starts at tier 1. So that means that, yeah, at tier 4, it would get an additional copy. Maybe we'll just do that. I think that will be fine. We'll do the same for the scarecrow. So that should be a good enough nerf, I think. Add item. So this should say 2. Let's see. Yeah. But if I added a rat with tier 3, it only copies 1. That's probably fine. I think that's a pretty good nerf. I guess I'll just make sure that the scarecrow is the same way. Yeah. Okay. That'll work. Is there anywhere else where I'm using the copy ability? I think there's a legendary one. Oh, corrupted sword. Oh, that's fine. I do think maybe this legendary ability is too much. Let's change the query directions on that one. Okay, build. Vibes-based balancing. Okay, cool. Adjust copy abilities. So this is one thing that I want to do. Make a necromancer starting artifact more interesting. So now that there are character unique artifacts, I think I can make them more interesting. So especially the necromancer starting artifact, all it does is it increases the crit chance. So I'm wondering what else we could add to that artifact to make it a little bit more interesting. I mean, we could obviously add crit bonus to the artifact as well, but is there something that we want to do additionally with that? Maybe something interesting. Something like, I don't know, maybe something like whenever a minion deals damage, like reduce the cooldown of adjacent minions by whatever. Something that gets like your overall minion action speed up. Maybe we'll do something like that. But anyway, I'm going to take a quick 3-minute break really quick. When I come back, we'll figure out what to do. I think that'd be cool, but using the undead tag. Okay. Yeah. We could think about that. So I'll be right back though, and then we'll continue on. Alrighty, I'm back. So, Necromancer starting artifact. Why am I doing that? I don't want to put this is hidden here, I don't think. I'm going to figure out a way to do that instead. We'll do that, and then for this one, we're going to do the same thing. Okay. So let's also do private read-only composed ability, critical bonus. Modification is equal to ability builder dot self critical bonus modification. Let's do 2. Set that one to hidden as well. Oops, this is critical bonus modification. Okay, minion crit chance. Hello, SNES Onyx, welcome. Good morning, Care Games, welcome, good to see you. So you have a whole to-do list in Obsidian. Would it be possible to show what you use for it? Fairly new to Obsidian, but I like it. It's just the Kanban community plugin. Just uninstall that and you're off. I should probably rework this. Okay. Let's override this description template parameters. Description template parameters, let's do const private const int private const is that right? Whatever. Int critical bonus. I still don't know. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, might have to update the cello as well. I think float 2%. That's formatting it as a percent as well. Oh dear. I gotta figure out what to do about that. Because this is... the percentage is being formatted by C#, according to the locale that's set by C#. But I'm wondering if it should be the case that I just put... I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if I should just put the percent in the raw string and let the translators do it. Well, whatever. Whatever. We'll just do this. I suppose. Right, anyway. Override critical chance. Yeah, I don't know. It's a little bit inconsistent how I'm using it, but that's all right. Hello, Dan W. Welcome back. Hello, Emerson. What's going on? Just doing a bunch of tiny stuff. We're working towards getting the playtest build ready. So, yeah, just trying to clean up, finish up a bunch of stuff. Okay, let's see if that works. Minion critical chances increased by 15%. Minion critical bonus is increased by 2. So the rat is a minion. Let's just make sure that the rat... Let's see, does this have a bonus of... Yeah, it has a critical bonus of 2. So now it has 4, so that's correct. Okay, and now we want to make it... we want to give it another ability as well. Or do I create a new artifact for it? Hello, Junie, welcome. Never saw the cello before, played cello in high school. Does it grant you +0 coolness bonus? Playtest soon already? I feel like the last one was just a week ago. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit sooner than I was originally thinking, but 211 things have changed since the last playtest. But there are some big things that I need to get feedback on because we're going to be working towards getting the public demo available on the store page. And so I guess I just need like an extra round of feedback from a playtest to test all the new bigger changes that I've made. One of which is, the repositioning of the alchemy drawer, rebalancing a lot of stuff, removing the crit multiplier and doing a crit bonus instead. The new unlock tree, right? All that good stuff. So the challenge system. So yeah, just a lot of stuff that I want to get feedback on before I go ahead with the public demo. Another cool idea could be getting a random item between Skeleton Warrior, Skeleton Mage, and Skull Tower after visiting X number of nodes. Yeah, I'm wondering if I should do another artifact. Maybe even adding options to it. Actually, let's do this. I'm just going to take an easy way out on this one. I'm going to take the easy way out. Okay. These bonuses, check it out. We're going to do an easy thing. These bonuses are doubled for keyword undead. Keyword minion, minions. Okay. We're just going to double the bonuses if it's an undead and a minion at the same time, which means I actually need to create 2 new ones. Undead, this would be times... Oops, I forgot to replace these constants as well. That would have been bad. Critical chance. Undead multiplier. Okay, so I actually need another... So filter... Let's call this filter minion only. Get minion only abilities. Okay. Private bool, filter undead minion. Okay, and then we'll do filter undead minion here. Get undead. Whoops. Actually, let's do this. Undead critical bonus modification not set is hidden. True. Undead critical chance modification set is hidden. True. Okay. That should do it. I'd say do another artifact so it isn't too busted to stack. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that. Yeah, I mean, this might be too strong, but... It's got a +7 crit bonus now. Hello, Alakazam. Speaking of playtests, do you have any advice for finding playtesters? I completed a game jam a couple months ago, and the feedback I got was really insightful and helped me set a direction. Probably post on Reddit or some Discords, but I guess I'm a little skeptical of the level of participation compared to a game jam. Yeah, I mean, you could always throw up a demo on itch. I think that's common advice for right now. You could throw up a demo on itch. See if you get any traction there. But honestly, I don't know if I'm the best person to give advice on that, because I already had a YouTube audience from which I could, you know, ask for playtests. And of course, I have a Discord server now, so I can just ask for playtests there. But yeah, I think that the typical advice is throw up a demo, like a very small version of the game, on itch.io and see what kind of feedback you get there, if you get any traction or whatnot. But yeah, it's difficult to get playtesters if you don't already have an audience, I think. So I don't know how you would do that effectively, unfortunately. How do I register for the playtest? I have more free time now. Well, the playtest will be available. I'll announce the availability of the playtest when it goes live. You can get into the playtest by being a subscriber to any Patreon tier. But the playtest will be available to the public for just like free sign up after a Patreon early playtest period. So if you want to just join the Discord, I'll be posting announcements there when all those things are available. And then, yeah, you just join the playtest from the Steam page. So you just go right to the Steam page. You'll be able to click join playtest or request access or whatever. And yeah. Hello, Opacheco Dev, welcome. Good to see you. You're welcome. All right, instead of doing a multiplier here, let's split this out. Undead critical bonus. Critical chance plus undead. Critical chance bonus. Okay, that should bring it a little bit more in line. Critical chance and critical bonus is increased by an additional two and three. Okay, is that right? Undead critical chance bonus. All right, let's see if that works. You're welcome. Hello, CG Gaming. Any tips for game art? The moment I realized I couldn't do my game dev, my game dev has just been on hold, and I don't really want to use free assets. Yeah, I think a lot of art is not even being good at art. a lot of the art for your games is just about having a consistent visual style. Like, you'd be surprised, I think, at how much better your game will look if you, for example, use a consistent style, use the same colors everywhere. So you might consider using a color palette. Even if you draw things badly, if they're all drawn badly in the same way, that can add a lot of consistency. But the same is true of your UI, right? Like, the UI has to match whatever visuals you're going for thematically. But it's also really important to use like consistent padding and font sizes in your UI. Like, the things that make a game look really amateur from a visual standpoint is, yeah, just having a bunch of assets that look different from each other, having like 4 or 5 different fonts that are all different sizes, having UIs which have all different paddings and buttons that look different and panels that look different. So like, the number one thing that you could focus on is just being consistent. Like, even if it doesn't look that great, just be consistent with it. And I think that will improve the visual presentation significantly. But then beyond that, you know, art is a skill like any other that if you practice it frequently enough, you'll get better at. So it's just one of those things where you have to make a dedicated effort to learning how to do it and just keep practicing, and it will get better. So that would be my suggestion to you. Oops. And 5 respectively. What? Oh, undead critical bonus. I'll get this right eventually. All right. So the rat should have 15%, this should have 20%. Okay. I should check the cello as well. Yeah, I think that's correct. Okay. Beef up Necromancer artifact. So that's not as interesting as what was originally suggested, but that should be good enough. At least for the playtest. I could always tweak it more later. But anyway, I'm actually going to end the stream there. My headache is not getting any better, and I'm having trouble focusing. So I'm going to go see if I can fix that. But I'll stream later if I'm feeling better. So sorry for the short stream, but I got to go lay down. But anyway, thank you all for watching. Even for this short stream, I appreciate it. And you can wishlist Alcohortus. Again, we're working towards the playtest, so join the Discord to be notified when that goes live. And yeah, keep an eye on the Discord. If I stream later this afternoon, I'll put an announcement there. But thank you. I appreciate that, everybody. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I'll see you in the Discord, and bye-bye for now.